Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch in Orlando, Florida at Seaworld, making our way to Sesame Street. We'll be walking throughout Sesame Street Land. This will be our attempt to complete a full tour of this bright, fun neighborhood and to show all the rides, activities, and events that take place within Sesame Street Land here. Thanks so much for getting off the couch with us and touring Sesame Street Land with us. And if you enjoy family travel content and SeaWorld rides, events, and shows, be sure to subscribe. So we will start our tour at the entrance. That makes sense, right? Here we are walking toward cute furry Elmo and the Sesame Street Land sign. And immediately to the right is a nice green space for eating, taking a break, relaxing, whatever it is you may need to do. And now here we are. We have entered into the cutest, most educational neighborhood that I can think of, and my favorite neighborhood, Sesame Street. In addition to the rides and character meet and greets, throughout Sesame Street Land are multiple interactive playable games. To the left of the entrance is one of those games, the Bike Shop Tricycle Challenge. In this game, you use your body to maneuver the tricycle and try to collect as many numbers as you can before you run out of time. And since this is the Bike Shop Tricycle Challenge, look at the theming around here. How cute. And this is a must. You have to pause, wave at Abby and Elmo, and take a picture with them too, underneath the Sesame Street sign. Looking up at the sign makes me think back to my elementary school days. If you had told me back in 1985 that I would one day walk on Sesame Street, I'd be in disbelief. Hopeful, but definitely skeptical too. But here we are, dreams do come true. And this neighborhood looks and feels like the real thing, like I would imagine Sesame Street would be in real life, minus the rides, of course, which we'll get to in a bit. Let's check out Mr. Hooper's store first. There is Mr. Hooper, a picture of him on the wall. All things Sesame Street are here, and all characters too, it seems. I've said before, I love how there is such a huge variety of characters here. In so many shows, you may have 3-4 main characters to choose from. Look at all the characters available here. I love these purple count shirts, and I don't know who this cute dog is. The store has such a variety of characters, the old characters all the way up to the new characters. The store sells apparel, mugs, plates, toys, interactive bubble wand. That's what we came here for. We're going to pick up an interactive wand to add to our Sesame Street experience. The interactive wand allows you to experience special effects and sounds around Sesame Street. We can choose from Elmo, Abby Cadabby, or Cookie Monster. In addition to being interactive within Sesame Street Land, the wands also light up and make bubbles. We originally had Elmo. London chose Elmo, but we were having problems with the bubble part, so my daughter chose Cookie Monster as the replacement. The bubble wand cost $35 plus tax and the 5% surcharge. We were able to use our pass holder discount on the bubble wand also. So Cookie will be hanging out with us here as we walk the neighborhood. In Mr. Hooper's store, there is also a laundromat. It's pretty much a one-stop shop here. We can pop the bubbles here, another interactive game here in Sesame Street Land, to discover what's in the washing machine. This is such a bright, colorful, and fun area, even with the mess of socks above. I guess even laundry is better on Sesame Street. We're also going to try the wand for the first time. Well, we're trying to. We have to get it out of the grasp of my daughter's little fingers first, which isn't working, so she's going to go ahead and try it. I didn't see anything different happen on the screen. Maybe there's a noise and we can't hear it over the noise of the bubbles popping on the washing machine game. So we're going to take the wand outside and try it again. Leaving Mr. Hooper's store, so hopefully we can see how this wand works within the neighborhood. And I'm wondering though, first, who lives upstairs? Is it commercial or residential? Because on the one side, I see Sesame Street Daily on the top of the building. The other side of Mr. Hooper's store has a sticker that says WASA. If that's how you pronounce it. I'm thinking it's WASA, like NASA. And it has a worm on the logo. So I don't know what that's about, but it has my attention. On the side of the store, there are mailboxes too, and my question seems to be answered. This looks to be a mix of commercial and residential. There's Wassa. My imagination is telling me that this is a business. And then there's Cat the dog and Andy T. Ant, who I don't believe I've ever seen on a show. If you've seen them before, let me know. Okay, so we're going to head up the ramp now to another interactive play area, Create a Monster. The possibilities are numerous as you choose which eyes, nose, mouth, hair, clothes, and accessories for your monster. Each screen gives you a total of 8 different choices, so you can see there's a lot that you can do with this monster. And once you're all done, you can check out your monster piece on the community center window. Now that our creation is all completed, let's put Cookie Monster to work. Let's see him perform his magic here. And nothing happened. I didn't hear anything either. Oh well, we'll keep trying because there is lots of interactive play opportunities within this section of the neighborhood. We're heading now to the 2-headed monster pipe telephone. If you talk into one end, then you'll hear your voice transform into a monster voice on the other end. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to speak monster, this is a great learning tool and translation device. Next is the Sesame Street apartment intercom. Press the apartment numbers to hear from Grover, Abby Cadabby, Rosita, and a mystery neighbor. Who can it be? Okay. Surprise! It's me, Prairie Dog! Oh, Prairie Dog? Prairie Dawn. I just said Prairie Dog. My kids don't know who Prairie Dawn is, and obviously I'm not doing a good job of explaining who she is. I wish there was an intercom for the mystery neighbors on the other side of the street, the ones on the side of Mr. Hooper's store with the mailboxes. I really want to talk to them too and find out who or what Wassa is. I'm normally not this nosy of a neighbor, but I've been wanting to visit Sesame Street for so long, as I've already said, and I just need to know everything now. The next interactive play and neighbors we're running across are the Yip Yip Martians. These Martians get around. They may be at the beach, they may be at the disco like they are now. They could be lots of places. They're Martians, you know. They get to travel to a lot more places than I do. Behind us is Bert and Ernie's doorbell. Yes, more neighbors to chat with. The 2-headed monsters behind us are so loud that we can barely hear Bert and Ernie's comedic squabbles.
Sorry, I was just finishing this week's episode of Pigeons in Space and didn't hear you ring.
Ernie! Hey, Ernie! Oh, what's that, Bert? I can't hear you. I got a banana in my ear.
I will say it is loud on Sesame Street. Neighbors talking on top of other neighbors, in addition to catchy and beloved Sesame Street songs on continuous play throughout the neighborhood. And this whole time, we've also been trying out our Cookie Monster interactive wand. There are multiple tap wand here signs in this block. And we also been trying the other signs throughout Sesame Street Land with both Elmo and the Cookie Monster wand. And after the second attempt, London started thinking these features don't work. They were working when they first opened, but now they're probably no longer working, is his train of thought. And after talking to 2 employees and having them try it with me, and this second employee was wonderful enough to leave Mr. Hooper's store and to come outside and to try some of the tap one here star icons, and she did confirm they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I never like to admit this, but London is right. We tried 2 different wands. We tried this over 2 different days and could not get a single special effect. So if you're buying the wand for the special interactions, we would not recommend it. If you want it for the bubbles and light up capability, my daughter has to have a light up bubble wand. She has one for Disney, and now she has this one for SeaWorld, and any other theme park she visits, she begs for one of those bubble light up wands. So if you need it for that reason, then yes, the $35 cost is warranted then. Okay, so quickly moving past the disappointment of not having the special interactions work with the wand, And also having to admit that London is right. Let's pick back up at Bert and Ernie's doorbell and look at the other apartments within this building. 123B. How cute is this? And wrapping around the corner is Elmo's window. I love Elmo's window. I think this may be my favorite part of Sesame Street Land. I have so many favorites. It's really hard to say. And with highs, there must be lows. We're at Oscar's trash can. This is a really cute low though. Let's see what Oscar has to say.
Why don't you go scram to that booty truck and anoint Cookie Monster and Donger instead, huh?
I'm gonna try knocking now. Oscar is done with me. He said what he needs to say and he's done. Here's another high though. How wonderful is this? Another perfect picture opportunity. And next door is story time with Big Bird. Again, how cute is this? And London and I were discussing how great Big Bird looks too. He looks exactly like he looks on TV. I can't tell from the website or Seaworld app when story time with Big Bird happens. It seems to be random. Next door is a meet and greet character opportunity, photos with Elmo and friends. So if you miss seeing Big Bird, you're guaranteed to meet some of your Sesame Street friends there. So let's go check that out now. Check out the theater posters outside the Sesame Street Community Center on both sides of the building. There are more posters inside of famous films, musicals, and shows with a Sesame Street twist. And while you wait in line for the character meet and greets, there are 6 activities to enjoy and bide your time with, inspired by theatrical performer warm-ups. So here are 3 of the activities within the backstage queue warm-up area, which is the official name of the waiting area. On the opposite side of the first 3 activities are the other 3 activities. And I personally love this back wall. Catwalk, moonwalk, they've covered it all. When we visited in line for the character meet and greets, which has been quite a few times, I don't think we would have made it through all 6 activities. The lines move pretty fast from our experience. During the character meet and greets, we've met Elmo, Abby Cadabby, Cookie Monster, Grover, and Zoe. Tell us who you've met and if you have a favorite character. You can take your own pictures and they also sell photo packages as well. The meet and greet photo opportunity is connected to Mr. Hooper's store, so you can just continue to shop if you desire. We're going to avoid any additional shopping and head back outside to pose with Cookie Monster in front of the Sunny Day Salon. Hair today, gone tomorrow. And the Community Vet Center is right beside Sunny Day Salon, and the doorbell does work. Press it and listen to the different animal noises. Well, we have covered one side of the street. Let's head over to the other half now and check out the actual street. My son actually pointed this out, the bicycle lane with the character. But who is it? London says it's Big Bird. I see the beak just doesn't look feathery enough to me. If you know, tell us in the comments or leave us your guesses too. We love to hear those as well. Speaking of Big Bird, we're across the street and on our first ride, Sunny Day Carousel. So there are 9 attractions currently in Sesame Street Land, and the majority of them are on this side of the street. So we're on our first ride now, enjoying a merry-go-round full of the brightest, most colorful horses ever, I believe. And this is just our first taste of action. So as we exit the Sunny Day Carousel, we'll be back in action soon. First, our walk around Sesame Street Land takes us to the restrooms and first aid. And then if we continue walking in the opposite direction, there's baby care and the quiet room. Like I said before, this area is loud as far as I'm concerned. So if you do need some quiet time, this is where you'll want to be. In front of the baby care and quiet room location is Elmo's Choo Choo Train and Rosita's Harmony Hills. We're jumping back into the action and grabbing a seat on Elmo's Choo Choo Train first. In addition to this being an incredibly cute ride, Elmo keeps us busy by pointing out different creatures as we pass along and challenging us to find creatures as well. Now, one day while we were visiting Sesame Street Land, we had the opportunity to meet and take pictures with Julia behind Elmo's Choo Choo Train. From what I'm reading online, Julia isn't a regular character here on Sesame Street, so if you see her, be sure to come by and say hi. So back to the front of the street and beside Elmo's Choo Choo Train, we're now in Rosita's Harmony Hills. In addition to playing and letting out some energy, you can play music as well. I love the musical parts of this play area, and I really enjoy the hills in this area. So much fun. Now behind Rosita's Harmony Hills is another ride featuring Big Bird, Big Bird's Twirl and Whirl. Have you ever wanted to sit in a nest and twirl around and around and around? Yeah, same here. It is lots of fun. And beside Big Bird's Twirl and Whirl is the Cookie Drop. This ride rises high and then drops as the name suggests, and the pattern and fun just repeats. The Cookie Drop and Big Bird's Twirl and Whirl have something in common. Yes, they're both inspired by Sesame Street characters, of course. We are in Sesame Street Land after all. The common thread that I'm referring to is that they're both often closed and not running. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, that it is a staffing issue. There have been multiple times we've been here and those two rides were not operating. We've seen them not running more than we've seen them running actually. So if Big Bird's Twirl and Whirl or Cookie Drop or both of those rides are on your list to ride and they're up and running, we recommend jumping on them. The next ride, actually it's a roller coaster, is Super Grover's Boxcar Derby, and this one seems to always be running whenever we visit, which is great because Sunny Day Carousel and Super Grover's Boxcar Derby seem to be favorites with my kids. If you're lucky, you may get to ride in a car themed after your favorite character. They're all cute though, so buckle in and enjoy a minute of thrilling twists and turns. And after the ride, you can see and purchase your own ride picture at Derby Photos, as well as other merchandise. In front of Super Grover's Boxcar Derby is an interactive play feature. Yeah, remember those? There is one on this side of the street, Cookie Monster's Foodie Truck Challenge. Confession time. London and I actually thought this was a real food truck until we started preparing for this video. It is pretty small for a food truck, but that's how good the theming is. This is a game where you follow Cookie Monster and Gonger's instructions to create delicious, one-of-a-kind meals. Really fun game. But if this really was a food truck, I think it would be great to have Cookie Monster and Gonger preparing meals. I love that. And this is the actual food truck, ABC Eats. It's not open right now. We've only seen it open once, I believe, during our visits. If it is open during your visit, you can expect chicken tenders, fresh fruit, french fries, and chocolate chip cookies. Sesame Sips is also here serving smoothies inspired by our beloved friends here on Sesame Street and ices, as well as on-the-go snacks. And now we're standing in front of another food truck, Yummy Yummy Nom Noms, and here's a look at their menu. Again, chicken tenders and other items are offered as well. Beside the food options and right at the front of the street is Rubber Ducky Waterworks. I love how Rubber Ducky has an attraction too. It is shared with Ernie, of course. This is such a cute and fun splash pad and is always busy for obvious reasons. So be sure to pack some swim clothes when you visit. Okay, time for the cookie drop again. We've already done the ride, but now it's time for the game. And in this game, you don't have to worry about any runner-up trophies or consolation prizes because every player is a winner. $10 provides you with 3 discs, and as you can see, the discs will go into 1, 2, or 3 every try, and you just need 3 points to earn a prize. That's the type of math I like. No paper and pencil needed. Enjoy the fun of playing a game and walk away with one of these incredibly adorable prizes. And in the small print, it says you can actually trade up too for all the multi-game players out there. One final ride on this side of the street, that Slimy Slider. We're sliding and swooping through Oscar the Grouch's compost collection, and Oscar looks happy to have us, and we're having a great time too. The final ride is across the street at Abby's Flower Tower. Before we were spinning around in Nest at Big Bird's Twirling World, and now we're in flower pots. My daughter is choosing a purple flower pot for our trip through the sky, and I love this view of Sesame Street. The parade is actually about to start, and my son is hoping we can watch the parade from up here. which I think would be cool. I mean, we might miss a few things since we'll be spinning around and around, but that would definitely be an interesting look. I can't deny that. The ride is ending though, and the parade is yet to start. Through this gate is where all of the wonderfulness will happen. This would be a great spot to watch the parade, but we're going to catch up with London. He secured a spot while the kids and I were on Abby's Flower Tower. And once the parade starts, we can't cross the street. So we're going to go ahead and head that way now. Honestly, though, I don't know if you can have a bad spot to watch this parade. It's happening now, and it'd be really hard to miss all of this from any spot. I love parades. At the same time, I never plan to see them. We kind of just run into them, and then I'm like, wow, that was awesome. The parade times, though, are listed on the SeaWorld website and app. Barkley is leading the parade as far as the floats are concerned, along with Stinky the stinkweed, followed by Abby Cadabby. Elmo, it's hard to see Elmo from this side, but Grover is right in front of us, and there's Zoe on the steps. Now look at that. Now Oscar wants to come out and talk. There's the Count. I love the inside of his cape. How fashionable. And Cookie Monster. My daughter came to life when Cookie Monster came rolling through in the cookie jar. That's her favorite. Cookie Monster is my favorite too. And if you haven't told us already, tell us your favorite character in the comments too, please. Bert, Ernie, and Rosita are manning Mr. Hooper's store. There's Telly Monster and Prairie Dawn. I did say Dawn that time. On the opposite side, they have a slide on their float. I think they're tight with Cookie Monster in the overflowing cookie jar for best float in my book. And that is the end of the parade and the end of our tour here on Sesame Street in Sesame Street Land at SeaWorld Orlando. As always, we want to know what you think. What are your thoughts? Have you already visited Sesame Street Land, or are you planning a trip? If you are in the process of planning, we hope you found this video helpful. If so, please let us know and hit the thumbs up button. If there's anything that you would add, please let us know that as well. London, myself, and the kids had such a great time putting this video together, despite the disappointment with the interactive one and the fact that there's a good possibility some rides will not be running. In fact, on our most recent visit, Abby's Flower Tower wasn't running. So if you don't have your heart set on a particular ride, I would even recommend not counting on a particular ride. I think it's a wonderful time then, and the theming is just incredible, and I love having the opportunity to see so many characters. And I can go on and on about my favorite parts of this land, but I want to hear about your favorite parts, your favorite rides, or just your reactions too. And if you have any questions and we can answer them, if we do know the answer, we'd be happy to help. Next week, we'll be taking a break. Not from uploading a video though, just from spending money. No $35 bubble wands for us, because we'll be focusing on more free things to do in Orlando. So this will be our second video discussing some fun and free things to enjoy in Orlando and the surrounding area. We could definitely use a break from spending. I think you all may like a break too. So subscribe, please, come back, join us off our couch again, and let's talk about having fun with our dollars still in our pockets. Thanks so much for joining us this video here on Sesame Street in Sesame Street Land at SeaWorld Orlando. Thanks so much for all of the likes, comments, shares, feedback, and questions. We always appreciate hearing from all of you, and we very much appreciate you all continuing to join us off the couch and making these adventures possible. Thank you. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.